All right, so I'm a bit of a Neanderthal and I scratched my eye putting in my contacts, so you're gonna have to deal with slightly bloody-eyed Colion Noir today. But the Senate just did what the Senate does best. They pulled the rug from underneath one of the boldest Second Amendment moves we've seen in decades. Just after midnight on Friday, the Senate's top rules referee stepped in and said that the provision to take suppressors, short-barreled rifles, and shotguns and any other weapons off of the National Firearms Act violates something called the Byrd Rule. And just like that, it's dead, at least for now. But here's the thing, this isn't just about some obscure Senate rule. This is about how strategy, timing, and knowing the rules of the game matter just as much as passion when you're trying to dismantle gun control. So what happened? The Senate Republican budget bill had a section that would have done something massive. It would have removed suppressors, short-barreled rifles, and shotguns, and AOWs, any other weapons, from the NFA. That means no more $200 tax stamps, no more ATF registration, no more waiting months for approval. You'd still go through a background check at the dealer like any other gun under the Gun Control Act, but the NFA's red tape, gone. It was bold, and for a second, it looked like it might happen, until this woman stepped in. Elizabeth MacDonough, the Senate parliamentarian. She's like the rule cop for the Senate. And she said the Hearing Act and Short Act that is part of the big, beautiful bill didn't comply with what's called the Byrd Rule. And boom, just like that, it got stripped out of the bill. So now, instead of needing 51 votes under budget reconciliation, it needs 60 votes to pass. And let me tell you, we ain't got 60 votes in the Senate. We barely have 51. Hell, we barely have 50. Now, if you're wondering why some random rule named after a senator from 40 years ago just killed the NFA fix, welcome to the mess that is the US Senate. Here's the simplified version. The Byrd Rule says you can't use the budget reconciliation process to pass stuff that isn't primarily about federal spending, taxes, or the debt. Reconciliation is a shortcut. It's designed to let you pass budget-related bills with just 51 votes, avoiding a filibuster. But if your bill tries to sneak in major policy changes, especially ones that don't have a significant budget impact, it gets kicked out. That's what happened here. In her eyes, the NFA delisting wasn't just about taxes because it also removed regulatory requirements, registration, paperwork, oversight, all of the things the ATF loves to micromanage. So the parliamentarian looked at that and said, nice try, but that's not budget policy. That's regulatory reform. Byrd Rule violation intact. And once it's ruled out of order, it can't stay in the bill unless you have 60 votes to override that. And like I said before, we ain't got that. You see, originally, the House proposed a clean repeal of the $200 tax on suppressor transfers. That's easy to argue as a budget issue. Byrd Rule safe, essentially. But then different gun groups and 2A advocates, like myself, we said, nah, you need to remove SBRs and suppressors altogether from the NFA, not just the tax. I did a whole video on it. So the Senate version of the bill included it all, delisting and tax repeal. It was great. Me and everyone else were like, yeah, let's fucking go. Right up until Elizabeth told us to sit our happy asses down because this shit ain't going nowhere. Because the Senate version didn't separate the tax piece from the deregulation piece. It was all one giant chunk. And when you bundle it like that, the whole thing becomes easy to throw out. That's what we call falling into a bird bath, a scrub down of the bill that deletes anything that doesn't follow the rules. And they scrubbed us clean. So what does this mean? Is it over? Not quite. There are still two ways this could move forward, but both come with caveats. One, we could rewrite and rerun a clean version. Some would argue that the smart move now is to just take the tax repeal portion and cut out the take them all off the NFA language and run that through reconciliation. That could survive a Byrd Rule challenge, especially if it's rewritten cleanly. It's been done before with other provisions that were initially tossed and later accepted. Two, we could offer a floor amendment. That could also bring the delisting language up separately as a floor amendment. But here's the problem. That requires 60 votes. And let's be real, there are barely 50 votes to pass anything pro-gun in the Senate right now, let alone 60. Right now, the clock is ticking. Republicans are racing to get this entire budget bill to President Trump's desk in a week. That's a week to try to rewrite the tax piece, a week to rerun it through the Parliamentarian, and a week to try to salvage something. The NFA delisting isn't dead forever, but it is off the table for now. Look, while politicians fumble around with Senate rules and parliamentary procedures, let's be crystal clear about something. Defending our rights isn't a spectator sport. It's about action. It's about standing proud, bold, and unapologetic, which is exactly why I created the Defend America collection, like the hat that I'm wearing right now. Every piece in the Defend America line sends a powerful message. It's about celebrating freedom, embracing self-reliance, and proudly declaring that our rights, especially the Second Amendment, are non-negotiable. From hats to shirts, hoodies to decals, the Defend America collection isn't just apparel. It's your daily statement to the world that you understand what's at stake and you're prepared to stand firm. But defending America also means protecting yourself responsibly. And that's why, whether you're at the range or in the field, you need the right gear, like the AKT1 blackout wireless Bluetooth hearing protection. This isn't your typical kind of over-the-ear earmuffs or your in-ear situation. No. The AKT1 blackouts let you seamlessly stream music, podcast, or take calls without sacrificing your safety or hearing comfort. You get crystal clear sound, advanced hearing protection, and no cumbersome wires. It's gear designed for those who are serious about their rights and their safety. So don't wait for your bureaucrats to do the right thing. Click the link down below or head directly to shop.mrcolionnoir.com to grab your Defend America gear and AKT1 blackout hearing protection. Because when it comes to freedom, your actions and even your gear speak louder than their rules. One thing's for certain and two things are for sure. Politicians and tech giants don't want gun content to be recommended to you. And we're all fighting this culture war together. Now you can help do your part by liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, but most importantly, sharing this video with at least one person. Together we can stop the suppression of our two-way rights. And don't forget to click the link in the description section of this video for the products that I mentioned in this video.